Hello, my friends, and welcome to another devotional connection. I was in my studies today, and one of my family members sent me something that kind of hit me in the mouth today, and I want to share just a piece of it with you today for our focus for the devotion. It's in John chapter 6, and it's after Jesus feeds the 5,000. About verse 22, it says, "The next day, the crowd that had remained on the other side of the sea realized that only one boat had been there, and that Jesus had not boarded it with his disciples, but they had gone away alone. However, some boats from Tiberias landed near the place where the people had eaten the bread after the Lord had given thanks. So when the crowd saw that neither Jesus nor his disciples were there, they got into the boats and went to Capernaum to look for him. And when they found him on the other side of the sea, they asked him, 'Rabbi, when did you get here?' And Jesus replies," now listen to this, "Truly, truly, I tell you, it is not because you saw these signs that you are looking for me, but because you ate the loaves and had your fill. Do not work for food that perishes, but for food that endures to eternal life, which the Son of Man will give you. For on him God the Father has placed his seal of approval." And they ask, "What must we do to perform the works of God?" And Jesus replies, "This is the work of God. Believe in the one who he has sent." And they go on to start asking for more signs. And they even talk about the bread that their forefathers ate and the manna that was given to them in the wilderness, that back then God gave them bread from heaven to eat. And they ask him, "What sign will you perform?" And Jesus breaks them down even more. And he goes down to verse 35 and he says, "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never hunger. Whoever believes in me will never thirst. But as I stated, you have seen me, and still you do not believe." And part of what I listened to today, as part of my devotion today, part of my study time, was the understanding that simply this: how many of us still want the things God that can do more than we want God? How many of us believe in the promises and the things that Jesus can do and is willing to do more than we believe in him? We want the things that he's capable of, the things that he's promised us, more than we want him. And there's a disconnect sometimes with what we believe or what we say we believe. I think about it as a father with my children. Are they with me because of the things that I do? Or are they with me because of the relationship we have, that they actually genuinely care? And I've been in some difficult situations as a young father, and had to go through some difficult times, no more than anyone else. And it's my children who have constantly reminded me, "Dad, as long as we're with you, we're okay. We don't care what we have. We don't care what we don't have. We don't care what we do. We don't care what we don't do. We just want to be with you." And I have reveled in that love, in that knowledge that they just want to be together. And I sit back and I look at this verse and I look at what Jesus is saying. He's saying, guys, you are here because I fed you and filled your bellies. You're not here because you actually want me. You're chasing after the food that perishes. You're not chasing after the food. I am the bread of life. But you want me to perform magic tricks. You want me to perform miracles for you. You want me to shuck and jive. You want me to do what you want and bend to your tune. You don't actually want me for me. You want me for the things that I can do. I heard somebody say yesterday, in what I thought was a very ignorant statement, that you're safe here in America as long as you're useful to people, and it doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter. As long as you're useful to somebody, you'll be okay. And I thought, Christianity, God calls us to be more than that. He doesn't just want to be someone who's useful to us and so we keep him around. He wants to be loved by us just as he loves us. He's already proven his love to us over and over and over again. It's ridiculous to think that he has to keep proving himself to us. We have to choose to love him for him. And in order to do that, it takes time to get to know him. We call it abiding. You got to spend time with him. You got to spend consistent time with him. You have to trust him and dig in deep. You got to get to know who he is. Get to know his smile, get to know his laughter, get to know the way he sounds, get to know the things that he says, the things that he stands for, the things that were important to him, the nuances in his language. You got to get to know him. And those things take time. Like I said, it was part of the devotion today that hit me really hard. And this was just a piece of it. Are we chasing God because of the things he does? Are we chasing after Jesus because of the miracles that he performs for us? Or are we actually followers because we actually love being in his presence? Something to think about. Talk to you again soon.